It's the WIAT Red Zone, brought to you by Pepsi.
The Walk of Champions at Bryant-Denny Stadium, but tonight it's a cold and dreary one. Alabama, LSU, always a rugged showdown, old school football, and the weather right now is cooperating for exactly that.
Now this might be Alabama's house, but LSU has made their presence known. The number 2 team in the country, they have plans to stay on course to end up in Atlanta for the SEC Championship game on December 5th, but that road to Atlanta runs right here through Tuscaloosa.
And the reason why is the game that you just saw on WIAT 42, Arkansas 53, Ole Miss 52. If you thought this game in Bryant-Denny wasn't big enough, the winner tonight controls the destiny for the SEC title. And for Alabama, they don't control their playoff destiny yet, but they're so very close. And when you're looking at the matchups, you got to look at the running backs, Derrick Henry and Leonard Fournette.
There are so many moving parts in this football game, but we've talked about it all week long. Those are the two biggest components in this football game. And the big question here is, how do you shut down the nation's leading rusher, Leonard Fournette? Not to mention he's 6'1", 230 pounds, and really he has absolutely no business moving the football the way that he does. He's quick, he's fast, he's physical. Once he's full speed, it's tough to take him down. The Alabama defense, though, they have to do their very best not to let Fournette get into the secondary, because chances are pretty good he will shake off his defenders. And you know I like to say it, we'll see ya.
Bye-bye now.
Well, that's a big boy to bring down. He run field physical and runs the ball mean, so, I mean, whew, that's a big boy to bring down. So I probably wouldn't, but, you know what I'm saying, he runs the ball the right way, so.
What stands out about who? Derrick Henry? You never seen him in person? He's huge, man. He's 3 times bigger than me. Man, if I play defense, man, you know, I wouldn't want to tackle him, but that's your job to tackle him. So you have to make a business decision every time you go against him.
Brees, you know me all too well. Nothing but deep respect here for one another. Fournette, the number 1 rusher in the country right now. Henry ranked 7th. But really, these guys are pretty comparable on paper as far as offensive productivity.
And here's the thing for LSU's running game. They have not seen a defense like Alabama, the best in the SEC. No one runs on these guys. No one beats Alabama at their own game. Georgia couldn't do it. Arkansas couldn't do it. And going up against Leonard Fournette, most important thing for Alabama, linebacker Reggie Ragland has it.
You just gotta have the right mindset going up against a guy like that. That's all about having the right mindset of doing your job and your job only. You can't worry about nobody else's job. You gotta take on your gap. You gotta strike your blocker. You gotta take your guy on. It's all about the one-on-one battles in this game.
Definitely a physical group up front. They like to, come off the ball, flat back, low hat. But like I said before, we love that as a defensive front. So we won it. That's what we've been waiting for all year. So we're excited for this matchup.
But here's the thing. If both teams can stop the run, they both want to run it. If they both stop it, you know what becomes huge? The quarterback play. LSU's got a new guy. Alabama's guy they think is getting pretty good too.
Jacob Coker has really emerged as a quarterback this season. When they lost to Ole Miss in week 3, it was a different quarterback that we saw from him. Out against Tennessee, a different ball game. And I think it's going to be huge for this team and Jake Coker to get a few of those explosive plays to really set this team up for success.
I've gotten more comfortable playing out there, just because the more games you get, obviously the more comfortable you're going to be. Especially with the guys, I feel like the timing and everything has gotten a lot cleaner.
And he's handled that pressure oh so well. Last-minute drive to beat Tennessee 2 weeks ago. That's what championship quarterbacks do. Jake Coker learning how to play Nick Saban's systems. He did not have the faith of the team early in the year. Nick Saban said he got it. Early in the year, after that Ole Miss loss, he got it, especially got it in that game against Tennessee. But on the other side, Brandon Harris, we talk about him. He's a first-year starter too. They did not make him do too many things the first couple of weeks of the year, but he has gotten a lot better.
And you look back at week 3, we went to LSU. We saw him play against Auburn, a different quarterback than you're seeing now. Harris has not thrown an interception all season long. Actually, he is the only quarterback in the FBS to have 80 throws without a pick. LSU offensive coordinator Cam Cameron, he has done a great job developing Harris and putting him in a good position for this football team.
He's a good quarterback. He's a great quarterback. I mean, we watch him grow as a player, especially being a young guy taking the role of the team. He's a guy that really can stretch the field. He can scramble. He can throw the ball deep. So you really have to focus on containing him. You can't sleep on him at all.
And Chris, You got to imagine coming into this environment in a night game. There's just something different about this environment, much more hostile. And ironically, Alabama and LSU have the same ratio of wins to losses under the lights since 2005. But after tonight, one team, that ratio is going up, and one team, that ratio is going down. Now, you got to look at the playoff rankings as well. That's a big factor coming into this football game.
And here's the thing. Everyone wants to diss Alabama. They're not a top 4 team. You can say that right now, rightfully so, ahead of 3 undefeated teams. You're talking about Michigan State, Baylor, TCU lost today, so they don't matter anymore. Alabama, whether you think they should be number 4 or not, it doesn't matter, because if they can win this football game tonight, it won't matter. They will deserve to be a top 4 playoff team.
If the players aren't smart enough to know that they need to stay focused on the game, because if you don't play well in every game that we have from here on out, you won't be ranked anymore. All right, so what good does it do? What does it mean? It means nothing. I don't even know why we have it. The only time it means anything, the only reason we have it is for folks like you to talk about and write about. That's all it is. All right, and ask questions about, which you did a nice job of, incidentally. All right, so, but other than that, what does it mean? Tell me what it means. Does that mean somebody's getting in the playoff and they're not getting in the playoff? Doesn't mean anything.
And I have to give my buddy Chris Brees a pat on the back for that one, because he's the one that actually asked Nick Saban that question at the press conference this week. And ironically, it was one of the last, was the last question that was asked. And so that's a lot of nerve.
Just so you know, it was not a compliment. He was putting me down, but you got to ask. The team was jumping up and down at that number 4 ranking.
And a video that was on Twitter and then came down.
Taken down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the big thing. And you know, when we're talking about this game, defending Brandon Harris, the quarterback for LSU, the secondary becomes that much bigger for Alabama now. These are the guys who were getting beaten on last year. The last 3 games of the year, this defense was giving up 450 yards per game against Ohio State, Auburn, teams like that. But then, coming into this year, they've improved immensely. Nick Saban said they've been the most improved unit on the team, and they may be the biggest factor. If they can stop Leonard Fournette, you got a good secondary to stop too? No way.
We came out there to work hard. You know, we was the underdogs of the team, all the criticism. So we really worked hard on, you know, becoming one of the strong factors on the team and having a complete defense.
I don't feel like they're getting overlooked at all. I feel like we're taking them very serious, and we know that they have a lot of talent at secondary. You know, they're going to be one of the best we faced all year. So we just have to prepare hard every day, because we know Brandon is going to get pressure, and we know we have to run really good routes to get open early.
And another reason why this game is so great, so many players from both LSU and Alabama recruited by each school. That includes Malachi Dupree, LSU's wide receiver.
It was different, and I had just gotten back from my Ole Miss visit also, so you know, it was a very big turnaround. I had just gotten back. I didn't get much sleep, and I woke up and Coach Miles was at my house, or Coach Saban was at my house. And then as soon as he left, I thought I could catch a nap, and then Coach Saban was at my house. And then I had to catch a flight to Los Angeles to go to UCLA. So, you know, it was very different. And, you know, I had to hear a lot of recruiting pitches that day. So there was a lot going through my mind. But at the same time, you know, I just realized I was very blessed for the opportunity to have.
And if you look at the way, you know, you've got 5 stars all over the place for both these teams. Well, we want to show you a graphic at how much talent is on the football field tonight. You talk about the NFL, these 2 teams, pipeline all the time. So that's what you're looking at with 2 teams battling it out. So much NFL potential on the field. You got to look at the keys to the game. We talk all about the running game, but if there's going to be weather, turnovers become huge.
Turnovers are huge, and I think this game is going to go down in the trenches, the O-line versus the D-line. Who can step up, shut down the running game, and again, get some of those big explosive plays.
Remember how bad that LSU loss hurt, fans? You can erase it all. With a win against LSU, cement yourself as the team in the SEC. Make the college playoff, control your destiny in the conference. We will see you right after the game. Post-game, we'll have Nick Saban and the players live on the air for the Red Zone Final.